What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my DVD collection 2016 comedy part 3. So let's get into it. Starting off with the O's. Up first we have Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Great Coen Brothers film, of course, with George Clooney, John Turturro, Tim Blake Nelson, and John Goodman. Fantastic looking film, great soundtrack. Okay, up next we have Office Space from Beavis and Butthead creator Mike Judge. Yeah, really funny film, great movie with Ron Livingston and Jennifer Aniston. Up next we have Old School from 2003. Yeah, really fun comedy with Will Ferrell, Luke Wilson, and Vince Vaughn. Up next we've got Paul. Yeah, great movie. With Simon Pegg and Nick Frost doing the UFO tour in the U.S., of course, and they meet up with an alien voiced by Seth Rogen. Really fun cast: Jason Bateman, Kristen Wiig, and Sigourney Weaver. Up next we have The Philadelphia Story, one of my favorite films in the 1940s. Great movie with Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and Jimmy Stewart. Up next we have Pineapple Express. Yeah, really fun stoner comedy with Seth Rogen and James Franco from 2007. Up next we have a couple of Pink Panther films. The Pink Panther from 1964 with David Niven and Peter Sellers, of course. And also from 1964 I have A Shot in the Dark. Yeah, good fun movies. I don't have all the Pink Panther films, just those two. Up next we have Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Great John Hughes film, of course, from 1987 with Steve Martin and John Candy. Great lenticular slipcover there. Up next we have The Player. Great Robert Altman film from 1992 with Tim Robbins. Great satire on Hollywood. Just picked this up on Criterion Collection as well. Up next we have the Police Academy films, all 6 of them. The first one, great movie from 1985. Yeah, really enjoyed these growing up. The second one from 86, Their First Assignment. Police Academy 3 from 87, Back in Training, my favorite of the sequels. Next we have Police Academy 4 from 1988, Citizens on Patrol. Police Academy 5, Assignment Miami Beach, another one of my favorites of the sequels from 1989. And Police Academy 6 from 1990, I believe, or 91, City Under Siege, probably the worst of the sequels. And Mission to Moscow from 1994, also not very good as well. Alright, moving on, we have Pride on Blu-ray. From 2014, yeah, really great movie about the gay and lesbian community siding with the coal miners in 1980s Britain during all those strikes. Next we have Primary Colors, great political satire from 1998. Fantastic performance by John Travolta, sort of in a Bill Clinton-esque role. Emma Thompson, wonderful. Kathy Bates as well. Terrific movie. Up next we have Howard Stern's Private Parts from 1997 with Mary McCormick plays his wife in the film. Robin Quivers, of course, was a huge fan, still am a huge fan of Howard Stern. Now he's sort of a mainstream celebrity with his being a judge on America's Got Talent. Is that the right show he's on, or was on? Anyway, moving on. Pushing 10, a really good film from 1999 about air traffic controllers, John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton, Cate Blanchett, and Angelina Jolie. Like that movie a lot. Next we have Raising Arizona. Yeah, fantastic film from the Coen Brothers with Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter. Up next we have The Walker from 2008 with Rainn Wilson. It has its moments. Emma Stone is in it as well. Always appreciate her. Another film from 2008, Role Models, with Paul Rudd, Sean William Scott, and Christopher Mintz-Plasse. Yeah, really funny. I like this movie a lot as well. Up next, we have Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion from 1997, with Mira Sorvino and Lisa Kudrow, Janine Garofalo, funny as well. Good soundtrack, just a fun film. Next, we have The Rules of Attraction, great sort of college angst comedy, dark comedy, great young cast. What's her name? I'm looking at her. Jennifer Biel, James Van Beek, Shannon Sossamon, Kate Bosworth, Laura Prepon in this as well, from That 70s Show. Really good film. Up next, we have Ruthless People from 1986 with Danny DeVito and Bette Midler. Up next, we have SFW from 1994. Interesting sort of TV reality crime, dark comedy Jeffrey Levy film with Stephen Dorff and Reese Witherspoon. Next, we have St. Vincent from 2014 on Blu-ray. Really terrific film. Loved Bill Murray's performance in this. Naomi Watts really good as a Russian prostitute, and Melissa McCarthy. Up next, we have Scott Pilgrim versus the World with Michael Cera and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Yeah, really fun film. Great effects. Just a really cool movie from, I guess, 2010, 2011. Okay, moving down. Up next, we have The Secret of My Success from 1987. Great classic movie with Michael J. Fox, of course. Up next, we have Seeking a Friend for the End of the World from 2012 with Steve Carell and Keira Knightley. Film I liked a lot. Up next, we have Serial Mom. Great John Waters film from, I think, 1993. Kathleen Turner. Maybe it was earlier than that, 1991 or something. But yeah, really, really funny movie. Really dark. Next, we have The 7-Year Itch from 1955. Great Billy Wilder film with Marilyn Monroe, of course. Next, we have Sex Tape from 2014 with Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel. Not great, but I still enjoyed it. I always enjoy Jason Segel. Up next, we have Shallow Hal, Farrelly Brothers film from, when this came out now, 2001, I believe, with Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow. Jason Alexander as well. Really enjoy him in that film. Next, we have She Done Him Wrong, classic Mae West from 1933 with Cary Grant. Mae West just awesome in that film. Up next, we have She's Out of My League from 2010. Yeah, with Jay Baruchel and Alice Eve. Not great, but still enjoyed it a lot. Up next, we have Sideways. Yeah, fantastic film with Paul Giamatti, Thomas Hayden Church, Virginia Madsen, and Sandra Oh. It's the Alexander Payne film. Yeah, one of the best movies of 2003. Up next, we have Some Like It Hot. Fantastic Billy Wilder film, of course. One of my favorite comedies. Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. Great movie. Next, we have another Tom Hanks 80s classic, Ron Howard film from 1984. Daryl Hannah, of course. Splash, I forgot to say the title. Eugene Levy and John Candy. Next, we have Starsky and Hutch from 2003, of course. Based on the TV show with Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Snoop Dogg, Vince Vaughn. Okay film. Up next, we have Step Brothers from 2008 with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. What's her name? Mary Steenburgen as well, plays the mother, of course. Get that in the right place. Up next, we have Strange Brew from 1983. Great Canadian comedy, of course, with Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. Max von Sydow. Yeah, cool film. Next, we have Stranger Than Fiction, great comedy from 2006. My favorite Will Ferrell movie, actually. Fantastic script, really smart movie. Maggie Gyllenhaal, Dustin Hoffman, Queen Latifah, and Emma Thompson. Next, we have The Stuntman, filmed by Richard Rush from 1980 with Peter O'Toole and Barbara Hershey. Really Really cool limited edition. Up next we have Swimming with Sharks from 1995. Great satire as well, with Kevin Spacey and a fantastic performance, and Frank Whaley. Oh, my arm's getting tired. Okay, up next we have Swingers from 1996, one of my all-time favorite comedies, of course. Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn, just awesome. Heather Graham, great film directed by Doug Liman. Love that movie. The soundtrack, the supporting cast, like people like Vaughn Livingston, just fantastic. Next we have Take Me Home Tonight from 2011 with Topher Grace and Anna Faris. Yeah, pretty fun film. Up next we have Ted from 2012. You know my affinity for Ted, of course. Love Ted 2. Mark Wahlberg and of course Seth MacFarlane, who directed the film and provides the voice for Ted, and Mila Kunis. Yeah, love Ted 2, like I said, so I'll definitely be picking that up as well. Next we have Thank You for Smoking. Great movie from, when did this come out now? I think 2006. Aaron Eckhart, Maria Bello, Adam Brody, Sam Elliott, Katie Holmes, Rob Lowe, William H. Macy, and Robert Duvall. Fantastic movie about the tobacco industry. Next we have There's Something About Mary, of course, one of the best comedies of the 90s, from 1998. The Farrelly brothers, Cameron Diaz and Ben Stiller, Matt Dillon. Yeah, just a great movie, really funny. Laughed my ass off the first time I saw that. Next we have This Is 40 from, when did this come out? 2013, I think, with Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd. Sort of a continuation of, I guess, Knocked Up, Jason Segel as well. Next we have This Is the End, again from 2013. Yeah, fantastic comedy with all these great young comedic actors. Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jay Baruchel, Jonah Hill, Danny McBride, Craig Robinson, Michael Cera. Fantastic cameo by Emma Watson. Just a hilarious movie. Next we have This Means War. I think also from 2013 with Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine, and Tom Hardy. Yeah, fun movie. Not a great film, but I enjoyed it. Next we have The Thin Man from 1934. Fantastic film, of course. Classic William Powell and Myrna Loy. Don't have all the sequels. Never seen them, in fact. Up next we have To Die For from 1995. Fantastic film directed by Gus Van Sant with Nicole Kidman and Matt Dillon. Up next we have Topper from 1937. Also features Topper Returns with Cary Grant and Constance Bennett. Up next we have Trading Places from 1983. Fantastic film, of course. My favorite Eddie Murphy movie. Dan Aykroyd, hilarious. Jamie Lee Curtis, Ralph Bellamy, Don Amici, of course. Fantastic film. Next we have Trainspotting from 1996. Of course, Danny Boyle classic. With Ewan McGregor, Johnny Lee Miller, Robert Carlyle, Kelly MacDonald. Of course, they're coming out with a sequel to this, which is kind of amazing, if you ask me. Okay, up next we have Trial and Error from 1997. I think, yeah, 97 with Michael Richards and Jeff Daniels. Really sexy performance by Charlize Theron. Yeah, sort of the only good thing Michael Richards has been in since Seinfeld. Okay, up next we have The Trouble with Harry, great Alfred Hitchcock film from 1955 with Edmund Gwenn, John Forsythe, and Shirley MacLaine. Up next we have Twin Town, another great British comedy. You can see this is a British DVD, in fact, Region 2, with Dougray Scott and Rhys Ifans and Lear Evans. Yeah, this film came out, I think, 98 or 97. Yeah, really cool film. Like that movie a lot. Next we have Twins, 1988 classic, of course, Ivan Reitman film with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Too bad about the little rip there at the top. Okay, up next we have Uncle Buck, John Candy classic from 1989, directed by John Hughes, of course. Macaulay Culkin as well. Yeah, one of my favorite John Candy films. Up next, we have Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke from 1978. Fantastic stoner movie, of course, with Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. Yeah, the only Cheech and Chong film I have, but it's their best by far. Up next, we have Up in the Air, directed by Jason Reitman. Fantastic film from 2009 with George Clooney, Vera Farmiga, and Anna Kendrick. Up next, we have Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation, of course, with Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo from 1983. You've got, what's his name? The kid who played the nerd in all those John Hughes comedies. Anthony Michael Hall, yeah, he plays Rusty the son. Classic, of course. Yeah, the remake that came out last year was okay, I guess, with Ed Helms. And I also got the sequel, European Vacation from 1985. Not as good as the first one, but there's some good TNA in this movie that I do enjoy. And of course, I've got Christmas Vacation in my Christmas section. Don't have Vegas Vacation, yeah. I wasn't really a big fan of that film. Next we have Van Wilder from, when the hell did this come out now? I would say like 2005 or so. Ryan Reynolds and Tara Reid. It has its moments. Wasn't really a fan of the sequel though, even though, what's her name? From The Walking Dead's in that film. Next we have Very Bad Things, great black comedy from 1998 with Christian Slater, Cameron Diaz, David Piven, Daniel Stern, Jon Favreau. Yeah, really cool film. Up next we have Wag the Dog from 1997, great political television satire with Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman. Up next we have Waiting from 2005, really fun movie about dinner servers in a restaurant. Ryan Reynolds, Anna Faris, Justin Long, all hilarious. Dane Cook's really good in this. Shia McBride, Luis Guzman. The Penis Showing Game, if you've ever seen this movie, is really funny stuff. Ugh. God, I hate when they get stuck together like that. Okay, up next we have Waking Ned Divine, another great British comedy from the late 90s, from 1998. Next we have The War of the Roses, fantastic film, of course, directed by Danny DeVito, from 1989 with Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and DeVito himself. Up next we have The Way Way Back from 2013, not to be confused with The Way Back, which I have in my adventure section, but I really love this comedy. Fantastic movie about this kid who goes on sort of vacation with his stepfather, and he hangs out at a water park the whole time. Sam Rockwell, really good. Allison Janney, who I've mentioned before, big fan of. Toni Collette, Steve Carell, Anna Sophia Robb, who I like a lot. Yeah, Maya Rudolph, just a fantastic movie. Absolutely love this film. Next we have Wayne's World from 1992 with Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, of course. Yeah, never got around to picking up the sequel. I guess I just wasn't interested in buying it. Next we have We're the Millers from 2013. Pretty funny movie with Jason Sudeikis and Jennifer Aniston, Emma Roberts. It's got some pretty funny moments, even though they're kind of long, but I still like that film. Next we have Wedding Crashers. I'm completely blanking on the year on this one, but yeah, fantastic film. Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Christopher Walken, of course. You got Bradley Cooper, Rachel McAdams. I think this came out 2007. Up next we have Weekend at Bernie's from 1989, of course, classic Andrew McCarthy and Jonathan Silverman. Okay, up next we have The Whole Nine Yards from 2000s, terrific movie. Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry, Michael Clark Duncan, Amanda Peet, really funny in this, really great film. Was not a fan of the sequel. Up next we have Wild Target from 2010, yeah, really fun comedy about sort of con artists and thieves. Emily Blunt, huge fan of her. Bill Nighy and Rupert Grint, Rupert Everett, really fun as well, really fun movie. Next we have Woman of the Year from 1942 with Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Next we have Wonder Boys, one of the best films of 2000. Michael Douglas, one of his best performances. Tobey Maguire, Katie Holmes, Robert Downey Jr., Frances McDormand. Yeah, fantastic film. Next we have Working Girl, classic of course from 1988 with Harrison Ford, Melanie Griffith, and Sigourney Weaver. Great Mike Nichols film. Next we have The World's End from 2013. Not to be confused with This Is the End. Yeah, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost again. Really fun stuff. What's the name? Rosamund Pike, the guy who played Bilbo. Martin Freeman. Yeah, really cool film. Liked it a lot. Let's make sure that's back in the right place. Okay, up next we have Yes Man from 2008. Pretty decent Jim Carrey comedy. Who was the girl? Oh yeah, Zooey Deschanel. Forgot she was even in that. Next we have You Can't Take It With You, a great Frank Capra film from 1938 with Gene Arthur, Jimmy Stewart, Lionel Barrymore, and Edward Arnold. Up next we have Youth in Revolt from 2010. Michael Cera playing two different roles. Justin Long, Zach Galifianakis, Portia Doubleday, really sexy in this. Ray Liotta and Steve Buscemi. An okay film. Up next we have Zack and Mary Make a Porno with Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks, film directed by Kevin Smith from 2008, I believe. And last but not least, we have Zoolander from 2001 with Ben Stiller, of course, Owen Wilson, Will Ferrell, Mila Jovovich. I hated Zoolander 2. I watched it a couple months ago. Thought it was awful. So I definitely won't be picking that up. So there you have it, the end of my comedy section. Thank you for watching as always. And up next will be crime, which will probably be 2 parts. So until next time, I'll see ya.